Hey everyone, I wanted to come and create a short video just to talk about my observations of what's happening in the field over the last couple of weeks that seems to be amplifying more and more. That's happening within the mental plane of existence, or the mental body, the mind controlling distortion in the field, and the energetics that are very amplified to create division, separation, and create conflict within loved ones, friends, family, relationship dynamics. I mean, it's all happening, but why is this happening right now? And I want to share some of my own experience. I feel like right now it's so important around our own energetic self-mastery, our mental self-mastery, and having a really good awareness of what is our energy, what is coming in and sticking to us from the collective field or from other people, and just how there's been this amplified amp up of pushback, resistance, interference that is going on. And obviously with the announcement that hasn't yet been confirmed, but a prominent figure within the disclosure community, potentially unaliving, this has brought many heavy hearts. And I felt this video had been brewing for a while, and I guess that was something else to bring into awareness about mental health, our own mind, and the fact that for the vast majority of our thoughts aren't our thoughts. There's all sorts of things in the field right now that may impose as your thoughts that are coming from other energies, other technologies even. So as I say this now, I want to I'll speak to a handful of experiences that I went through personally in the last week with this energy in particular. So for me, it's been amplified at times when we're more vulnerable. Our field or guard might be down. So this can be at nighttime. That's why, as you can see, I put out that morning alignment, guided process. Nighttime, there's a lot that can come into our bodies, a lot of astral tagging, a lot of things that come into the field via our dream space, through the astral planes. And there's also, in combination with that, there is a lot of clearing taking place with distorted relationship templates specifically. So this can be felt heightened in exacerbating traumas or unhealed aspects of relationship wounding. Could be coming up really loudly, but it's like as we're unearthing a lot of our own healing, that's where we can become, our energy field can be weakened. That's where these external influences and energetics can really amplify and distort things to a greater degree than what is necessary. So it's part and parcel. But throughout last week, I woke up several times, which is very unusual for me. Normally I don't get impacted as to the level that I was in the last week. I woke up a handful of times either having anxiety, panic attack. One morning I woke up around 4 a.m. just to go to the bathroom, and I felt something that had energetically lodged into my stomach. So remember that our stomach is also our mind in our body, right? It's connected directly to our head and our mental processing and our mental body. So if we get attached, a lot of attachments And implants can lodge themselves either in the head, the mind, or the stomach that manipulates our own thoughts. So I felt something in my stomach at that moment. And as soon as I went back to bed to go to sleep, I felt a lot of back and forth, not being able, restlessness. And all of a sudden I felt the mind energy really exacerbate and amplify. And it was saying all these horrendous stories about me, about people who are close to me, people that I love, that I know aren't true. But in that moment, because it sounds like my voice, right? It's very intrusive. It comes with a very sticky, harsh energy that makes you want to fight or makes you want to be very reactive. And in that moment, I had a choice. I could have reacted on it, or I could have diffused it and seen it for what it was. One of the telltale signs in that is like, well, how do I know if it's mine or it's a program? It's like, well, it came with a visceral sensation in my body that didn't feel natural or normal. So I disengaged from it and I worked with clearing that energy out of my body, and then the thoughts dissipated. But also I want to talk to things like psychic attack. Now, what is the energetic component of psychic attack? It is a thought form that has come from another person to you that feels attacking in nature, that can impact you mentally, emotionally, or physically, energetically, spiritually, or all of the above. So if we're having these energies come in that are creating these divided or separate thoughts, negative thought forms against people that we are very close to, because we're sensitive, we have telepathy, we're connected in energetic means, what's it going to do? It's going to directly impede other people and interfere with other people using our own energy. So I refuse to engage. So that's just one example of many. Now, I had a phone call today from a dear soul sister of mine who's had 3 nights in a row of doing very high level energetic work, planetary grid work, and then being slammed with implants and sort of energies trying to shut down that operation, interfere with, create a resistance. And now these implants that we were able to successfully remove just through talking it out, and she wasn't able to see it, but I could see it. So I helped guide her through. It was creating physical pain in her body that she thought she had to go to seek medical attention. Within about 10 minutes, we had diffused it, the pain had gone. That's how these things can impact us physically, mentally, emotionally. Everything is energy. Everything comes from an energetic form. So it's working with the intelligence of the body to be able to diffuse some of these things. Now, I also had the privilege of witnessing today, and there'll be so much more of this to come. I feel like this is just like laying down the foundation for more of this intel, because I know that there's so many of us that are working in the field. But what is become really apparent to me is there is new coded frequency of what I would call a higher level masculine template coming through, and freedom codes. So I've been talking a lot about exit from the pods. There's also a lot of exiting from various different programs, whether they be off-planet, SSP-wise, or military-style government programs that people's consciousness are being disconnected from. But there is a lot of back and forth backlash. It's not just a, yay, we're free. It's creating a lot of convoluted, distorted frequency in the field, especially that it's targeting people who have, maybe perceived mental health issues, or amplifying the mind virus, the mind control programs. They don't want to let go. Whether you're going through a rough time with some of these things or not, if you're energetically sensitive, you would be feeling some of this in your own way, perhaps. it is very challenging and trying for a lot of people out there right now. I see it every day when I'm working my client session, so I get, I guess, a very unique perspective, and I want to be able to try and make as much content as I can to share with people from what I'm perceiving and the energetics of it to help support people. The other thing that really, I guess I can say, triggered me something that came up really pronounced for me around this time. So it's exactly 3 years to the date as I post this that I launched Elevate Training 3. The whole inspiration behind that was because of the times we're moving through now. Actually, all the Elevate series is designed for the times we are moving through now, to help people work with their energetic mastery, self-mastery tools. But Elevate 3 has a special place in my heart because it was about the restoration of freedom and consciousness for those who've had their consciousness in various, whether it's pod systems, programs, etc. Why did I create that? Because I knew that there was a time coming that there would be a massive extraction and return of consciousness to those who've been involved. And I think we all are, the fact that we are here on this planet, I think we are all to varying degrees impacted by this. The statistics are that there is a very, very high level of people who don't deal well mentally for the first 6 months after coming out of these types of scenarios, or freeing themselves energetically from things that they've been involved in for many years. And we're talking consciousness in different parallels. We're talking about underground operations. And this isn't necessarily the mainstream of what we know and understand about SSP. This is consciousness, fractalization of our own consciousness that we go into in our dream space. We have mission dreams. We wake up feeling the reverberations or remnants of things that we've participated in, or our consciousness has been, as part of this multidimensional cleanup, to make the space open for this shift in consciousness that we're moving through. Why is all this happening now? I believe that this is happening now so intensely, or it's become so intensified because we are making huge strides. We are in a very, very important window right now that is unraveling as we're preparing to bit by bit move into the migration that's already begun into the new reality. So as some of us are being called to access that, bring it in, having experiences of that more and more, being upgraded, internally recalibrated, there's all this convoluted energy in the field that's creating a resistance that won't succeed, but it's making it harder at times for certain people. So I really wanted to give voice around this to explain how my perception, or how I see it, and how it is impacting those that I've been connected with and working with, and how I see it in the field. Another aspect is this whole heat thing. You can probably see my face, right? There's this internal burning heat, which so many people have commented on and experiencing it. So, and I see it as different layers and levels. There's different sensations of heat and what it means. I've always understood that heat, sometimes in the face, like you're burning up, or different parts of the body, can be how the body physically detects a foreign energy or interference energy that can be a bleed through. And I think there's a lot of bleed through that's happening from these lower timelines and realms that we're cleaning up vigorously right now. The other thing is it can be burning off old energetics as we're internally recalibrating. There's levels and layers within our field, in our code, in our DNA, that's burning away to give us optimum essential, frequency coming in. What I was seeing is like there's a lot of gold pure divine masculine coding coming in like rain into people who have the ability to access it. We all do. And when I talk about masculine, it doesn't matter. Gender is not part of that. It is a frequency that builds solidity in the body, in the field, and it creates a new infrastructure or architecture of the reality that we're building. And so when we look at the masculine energy, there's a lot that in the upside down inverted that is diminishing before our eyes. It's coming apart, it's unraveling, it's essentially dying. But there's the new that's simultaneously coming in to restructure the nature of the reality. So it's a lot that's happening all at once. Now, I do believe, based on what I was shown in my dreams, there's a lot of energy that has remnants of Egypt timelines that are collapsing, that haven't yet been fully nullified. This ties into divine counterpart connections, soul-based connections that have or hold a purity of a high frequency. There's a lot of distorted relationship templates of hurt, loss, betrayal, deceit. There's a lot of heaviness in around what is being, I almost want to say, mulched through or dissolved through the field, to allow the anchoring of the higher love template that's steady, wanting to come in a very physical, practical way. And I feel like that won't really land and anchor more fully for months down the track or second part of this year. The focus at the moment is the freedom and liberation codes. It is the opening and an expanding of consciousness being returned to individuals and being able to navigate that in the best ways that we can. So there's so much more to share around this topic, but I just wanted to touch on the key points that I've been witnessing and observing. And as a result of that, I have been guided to offer, just for between now and the end of this month, I'm going to offer 50% off Elevate 3 training, and all the various training modules are available on my website as resources, because I think they're incredibly powerful tools for these times that we're moving through right now to help support people. So the promo code is freedom in all caps as you go through the checkout of any training program on my website. That's my gift that I want to give to help support those who feel they need additional support. Of course, you can connect with me for individual session and look out for the soul activations. They'll be up and coming. But now I just want to reinstate that we are moving through what can feel tumultuous or heavy times, but it's because we're making incredible progress. We're making incredible headway. Don't believe everything that you see. Don't believe everything that you hear. But trust your own soul, internal guidance system and knowing, because that will never lead you astray. So much love to you all for now, and I will connect with you all soon.